Why the jab is so important? First of all, establish your distance between you and that other fighter. Okay? Distance is important. Jab, distance, footwork. Those are the three things that's really the most important if you want to become a boxer. If you just want to fight anybody, none of it matters. You just going, okay, get your butt whooped, okay, by a boxer. All right? So, the jab is done for several reasons. Number one, it sets up the right hand, okay? Jab, right hand, okay? Also, it can set up a hook, okay? You can set a right hand to the body. It could just do so many things. Anybody who comes in, let them run into the jab. As you know, you see me turning my hand, right? Because it's hard to get power on the jab because it's such a straight shot. But if you turn your knuckle, okay, y'all try that at home. Okay, turn your knuckle, hit your skin versus hitting straight on. You will find that if you turn your knuckle, it hurts way more than straight on, okay? So, when you're throwing a jab, you turn your knuckle and you push off your back foot. Yeah, the jab comes from your back foot in your stance, okay? So, you should be on your toes with your heels slightly off the ground and you just push off your back foot. And what you're doing is you're putting your weight from your back foot into your hand, into their face. So you're taking the weight of your body, you push off your back foot, and you turn your wrist right into their face. Okay? So it makes the jab more powerful than just this or just this. Okay, so you slide back with your jab as he's coming, maintaining your, what's the second most thing? Distance. Using what I say, your footwork. The three things are most important. So you maintaining the same distance as two of y'all standing, using footwork, using the jab, controlling them from the outside, setting up power shots to the body, to the head, or hooking off the jab, or whatever. Okay? The jab is also used to rest. Let's say you're really, really tired. Anybody been in the ring knows sometimes you just extremely tired. Okay, so sometimes he's trying to pour it on and you're tired. Well, if you jab twice at a man, okay, you could actually make him go backwards a few steps. As he's going backwards, that's when you consciously take your breath and rest. Or you could circle around the ring using footwork and distance, using your jab, and just rest, catch your breath, okay, until you're ready to go back, okay? And as far as boxing too, we use the jab to set up punches. So let's say you got somebody that's crazy, just want to charge, just want he's like a bear. Okay, so that's what you use the jab, keep them back, use the footwork, maintain your distance, pick them outside, turning, and we're going to turning angles and all that. I'm a footwork angle specialist, okay? I'm a boxing specialist. I'll break it all down to you. But we're going to do it one step at a time. But speaking of that jab, so you can rest using your jab, okay? So you can also use jab, like I said, for your power punch. Okay. So, boxing lessons 101. To recap, the most important punch in this sport is the jab. Okay? When you're in the ring, what's the most important thing besides the jab? Footwork and distance. Why is that? Okay, let me break it down a little bit without standing up and doing all that old stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like to explain things. Alright, so look, footwork, distance. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. In a boxing match, there's a man in front of you. He's trying to knock your block off, okay? You trying to knock his block off, okay? Y'all looking at each other, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully you moving your head instead of just looking at each other, because he going to hit that. You move like this, he can, alright, move your head. That's another stuff. We'll do that down the road. Alright, but right now, what we talking about? Alright, distance. Alright, so look, distance is, everybody has their own personal distance. It's like their own fingerprint, their own identity. Everybody their own. My distance is different than your distance. What are you talking about? The distance is between you and that other guy in your arm. Distance. Boom. Okay? You want to hit a person, a bag, a thing at the end of my distance. Because at the end, see that little turn? That is your most power, is when you hit them at the end So that's your distance. So we fight at a distance. Make sense? Okay, so how do we establish that distance? Oh, stage 2, footwork. As he slide back, you slide forward. He slide forward, you slide back, maintaining your distance. Why do you want to be at that distance? Because he can't hit you at your distance. It's yours. He missed. You're comfortable there. So you keep him at your distance, so you get bang, hitting with that thunder. That thunder. All right, you got it? So, what's very, very important? Jab, footwork, distance. Keep him right there. Okay? So what happens if you lose distance? What happens if you don't establish your distance? He all up on you, punching you. You. Now it's this. You better know how to do that. If you do all like this, or you like they do on the streets, you're going to get toe up. You better know how to block all that. All right? So he up on you now. He ain't supposed to get past that jab. That's why the jab there. You control the distance. If he get past it, oh, you missed the jab. He slipped and he went past it. Now he in there. He in there. All right? All right? So if you jab and he slip past it, you got one more option. Footwork. Slide back with him as he comes. He's still short. Okay? Footwork. Footwork is good for angles too. That's another show down the road. We'll cover that too. Boy, I could break boxing down in many, many, many different ways where you can understand it. Okay, so the 3 most important things in boxing. I said number 1 was the jab. What? Then I said what? Footwork and distance. 3 most important things. You got a good jab, you got footwork, distance. You only need one hand. All day, all day, See what kind of jab I'm doing? Angle jab, up jab, that's an up jab. All right, regular jab. See, I'm jabbing, move my head. All right, get that? Get that? A lot of people, when they knew, jab, bang, 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 bang. No, bang, 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 bang. All right, you get that? That's another lesson. Down the road, I got a whole lot of them. You want to be good? Go to my website, go to my trainer page. I'll show you all that. But right now, finish up my lesson. Jab, footwork, distance. All right, shadow boxing. The correct way to shadow, look, for trainers and boxers, if your fighter just get in the ring and you say shadow box 3 rounds and he getting ready, he just shadow box 3 rounds and you know what I mean, he going about his business. That's not getting the most out of shadow boxing, okay? Shadow boxing should be going over situations in the ring as they throw correct punches, pretending there's a man in front of them, okay? What do you mean by that? Okay, situations. Shadow boxing where you go over how to throw proper punches. What do you want to do when they attack you coming forward, coming back, off the ropes? Okay, and you practice those situations mentally, shadow boxing. Okay, now, in each round, let me share this with you, all you trainers out there. In each round, there is at least 200 situations that's going on per round, okay? Situations that's going on per round. I ain't never heard of that before. Okay, well, you heard it from Big D Boxing Page. You got it from me. So, when you shadow boxing, you are going over each situation in the ring while he is shadow boxing. If he's doing this, we're doing this. This punch is doing this. We're doing that, we're doing that. Okay? The correct way to shadow box. Once you get your footwork down, your distance, what you trying to do, you covering all those 200 situations in the ring. Okay? You get that? The thing is, you need to understand and know every inch of the ring. If you was to close your eyes blindfolded, you should be able to go from one side to the next corner blindfolded and know where you are in the ring. That's understanding the ring. This is high level stuff, y'all. And one more thing. Once you got all of that figured out, when you shadow box, you do it with technique and fundamentals at your peak speed. Yes, as sharp, as quick as you can. Somebody does shadow boxing for real, comes out of there sweating, he's exhausted, because he's doing everything at fight speed, okay? Now there's a lot to that, all right? You have to build to that when you break those situations down. But if you listen to me correctly, this should help your fighter understand boxing a whole lot better. Okay? Did you get that? Shadow boxing. Southpaw versus orthodox fighter. Oh, that's a good one right there. What's the difference? Why is there a so-called advantage? Is there an advantage? Why is there an advantage? What should you start off as? And let's break that down a little bit, okay? Southpaw versus orthodox. What do southpaw mean? Simply fighting left-handed, right hand in the front. What do orthodox mean? Fighting right-handed, left hand in front. Okay, so now we got that out the way. What makes a fighter right-handed? What makes a fighter left-handed? Okay? Simply, if a fighter writes with his right hand, he throws with the right hand, he wipes his, with his right hand, Okay, so he's a right-handed fighter because that's his dominant hand. That's his most powerful hand. He could throw further with that hand. He could swing a bat harder with that hand. So that's going to be your orthodox, basic, right-handed fighter, okay? Vice versa. Somebody do that with the left hand, he comes in with the left hand, okay, so he's traditionally going to be a southpaw fighter, okay? All right? Now, what's the difference in the two? There's a big difference between the two. Punches from this way is 1-2. Southpaws 1-2. As you can see, the punches are backwards. Even a hook, 1, 2, 3. A hook is a hook. So a hook is side of the head. So you got 1 through 3 from a southpaw. The hook is on the side of the head on the other side. So the punches are backwards. Okay? Now, let me break it down a little bit more. There are way more right-handed fighters than left-handed fighters in the sport of boxing. There's just way more of them. Okay, so right-handers fight right-handers all the time, and left-handers fight right-handers all the time. So southpaw people are used to right-handed fighters. It's nothing to them, because most fighters are right-handed. Bet you didn't think about that angle. Let me break it down a little bit more. The footwork position is a lot different between the right-hander and a left-hander. If the left-hander is standing in front of the right-hander, the right-hander has to have his feet outside the left-hander's front feet. The reason why is because if the left-hander's feet is outside the right-hander's front feet, he's lined up for the left-hander's favorite punch is the left down the middle. So it's constantly a feet position for the right-handed fighter in the ring because he know the left-handed guy is trying to line him up with the left. So he's doing something unusual than he's normally doing. When he's fighting a right-handed fighter, he ain't worried about the feet. Everybody's lined up. You heard toe-to-toe, they toe-to-toe. Everybody lined up correctly. But when you go against that left-hander, it ain't toe-to-toe no more. You trying to position your feet over to get away from the left hand, and he's fighting you normally what he always do. So now he done already took you out of your elements, okay? Advantage number 2. There's a few more. The body shots are backwards. All right, Earl Spence, a great southpaw. Body punches. Instead of whoop whoop, they come whoop whoop. You know what I'm saying? You used to whoop whoop, now whoop whoop. Oh, and he digging to each time. All right. So to break that all down, Southpaw versus Orthodox, great big difference. Left-handers have the advantage, but if you're gonna start off a fighter, don't start him off left-handed just because you think that's the best thing to do. No, go with the traditional if he throws it that way. The difference is, let me break that down too. Big D boxing page knows his stuff. All right, so let's go. Let's say you switch it around, all right? So you got somebody supposed to fight that way, and now he's fighting. Okay, so his jab is a lot better. His jab is a lot stronger, okay? So because his dominant hand is up front, where it's not this way. So yeah, but his backhand, your power hand, is not as strong, okay? So you're not hitting guys really, really hard like if you would if your backhand was back here. Okay, so what does that mean in a fight? Well, that means in a fight that you're going to go the distance a lot, okay? Because you're not going to be cracking guys out of there, all right? And also, too, not only you going distance a lot, they walking through your punches because you're not hitting them hard. Once you get past the jab, they not worried about the power that you have. So a lot of your fights, they're going to start coming forward. So a lot of your fights going to be trying to make it rough for you, okay? You're going to have a good jab, keep it off for you, but they're going to try to walk you down because you don't carry no power, okay? You understand that? So traditionally, go with the basic fundamentals. If you throw a football, you throw a baseball right-handed, go back to being the right-handed with it in the back, okay? If you throw it with this hand, whatever, okay, go the fundamentally correct way. All right? All right. Angles. Everybody say, get an angle, use the angle, get an angle. What the heck is an angle? Look, let me introduce you to my friends. This right here, this is Bruiser. He like to kill everything. He come to the gym, he just whooping everybody. He dedicated, he train hard. You know, he do whatever the trainer say. I got another friend. This is beat up. He come to the gym too, when he want to. He a boxer too. But he get mad when the coach tell him to do 10 push-ups. Bruiser don't. He do. He go to the gym and he get beat
I
up.
told you was not calling my Valentine's Day gift no doggone beat.
What?
Beat up.
Come on, I'm doing the show. Come on.
You know what? Okay. All right.
Sorry about that. See, that beat up get you in all kind of trouble. Bruiser, he cool because he run every day, train hard, beat up.
You want something? You want to call something? Call that.
Oh, come on, baby.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you,
Use
baby.
that for a name.
And this is Punk. Punk comes to the gym too, but he just don't win at all. He wanna be a boxer. He tell all his friends he a boxer, okay? Put Punk aside for a minute, okay? Let's concentrate on our show, okay? I got out of focus. You know what I'm saying? Man, she almost had me sweating. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? All right, back to the show. I'm going to put Bruiser on this side, okay? I'm going to put Beat up here. So back to what I was talking about. We was talking about angles, all right? Angles. That's the show today. Angle. We done with talking about the fights. Now it's about angle. What is angles? You ask a boxer today, what is the angle? They be like, well, it's over, you know what I'm saying? You just getting an angle. No, what is the angle? Coaches, teach angles. Well, the angle, all right, listen here. Big D boxing page. I'm a trainer too. Let me break down angles for real with bruiser and beat up. So you have a little clue what's happening. You know. Let's say they toe to toe. Okay? They toe to toe. This two people boxing. Okay? Boom. They both can hit each other, right? That's called toe to toe. Fighters fight sideways, so they fight toe to toe. Whoa, all right? So, angles, what is that? Angles when one fighter's here, and the other one made a move, and he's on the side of him like this. Alright? So, alright, that's great. What do you do there? Well, the angle allows him to be able to punch him with both hands. Boom, 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 boom. And if you notice, this guy can't punch him at all with none because he's on this angle. So he's punching this way, and he's able to hit him on with both hands. All right? Back to toe to toe. All right? So you got an angle over there. Y'all see that? Toe to toe, angle. All right? So look, every fighter has an angle on both sides. Same thing over here. See? I'm going to turn it around. That's his angle on that side. You get that? Angle. Toe to toe. Angle. Toe to toe. Angle. Toe to toe. Y'all get that? So let's expand a little further about angles. That's pretty neat. I never heard it described like that. You don't know Big D, but you better subscribe. You learn a lot of stuff. Back to angles. Check this out. How you get there? How do you get there? If you check out my last show, I did a show called Footwork. Duh. So you start off like this. Do, 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 do. And while you punching, you boom, and you end up over here, boom, 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 and you start beating them up from the angle, okay? You get that? Same thing over here. You start over here, boom, boom, boom. And then while you fight, you shift over, and you start hitting them like the way, and you start beating up on the angle. You get that? Angles. Now that's footwork angles. You also got angles with slips and rolls, where a fighter just rolling, punching, and he just rolling and slipping, while this little beat up punching at him, he just rolling and slipping in these angles where he can't get hit. That's another way of doing it. You understand that? So you could like punching angles, punching angles, punching angles. See how he punches? He ain't punching like straight on like that. He punching in angles. Look, punching in angles where he don't get hit. Everything is in angles. Did you see that? Including punching. Everybody get that. You can get there a number of ways. Upper body, footwork, alright? Angles. Let's talk about power. That's an easy subject. You just throw the punch hard. You just throw the punch hard. Well, no, that's not how it goes, okay? How power is generated. First of all, let's talk about let's break down power. What does it mean? What does it mean in the ring? And what's the difference between a person with power and no power? Let's go over that real quick. Power is important, okay? Some people are born with it. You could be taught the technique to throw power punches. We'll go over some of that. But when you have a fighter that's hitting hard, you just ain't going to just run up in there. Once he feel he hits hard, you're going to respect him. You're going to do more bobbing and weaving and do all kind of stuff, okay? Versus somebody hitting you and feel like a butterfly, you fly, oh, you don't hit hard, you just go right to him. So power is very important. And each punch has its own technique of how to generate power. And we'll go over at least 3 punches about power and how to generate it, all right? Let's go over the first one, the power hand, the backhand, all right? For you orthodox fighters, that'd be the right hand. For you southpaw fighters that got that'd be the left hand, that backhand. That's your power hand. So let's talk about that. How do you throw a power punch from right here? Okay, first of all, you don't throw it from right here. What you mean? I thought, no, you don't throw it from right here. You throw it from your feet. Okay, break that down, Mr. Big D Box Page. Break that down, Mr. Big D, because I throw mine like this. and I knock out everybody. Okay, but that's in the streets with no headgear and knees. And we talking about in the ring, okay, with some big 16-ounce gloves on the 14 headgear, and how you generate power to knock him out. Different thing. So let me break that down. In boxing, when you're in your stance, you want to generate power. You got to do what they call sitting down. What do you mean? Punch while I'm sitting in the chair like, I can't nobody hard like that. Correctly. Pull the chair out. That's called sitting down. When you drop your weight real low. Okay? Now that your weight is low because you're sitting down, your knees are bent. Okay? When your feet, in the boxing, your back feet should always have your heel off the ground. So if this is the ground, you should never be on the ground right here with your heel. Never. 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 It should always be up like this. That allows you to move quick in the ring. If you're flat-footed like that, you're going to move slow. Okay? So your feet are always on the ground so you can move quick. Alright, everybody got that? Alright. So now as your feet is like this on the ground, if you want to throw power with your right hand, which is your backhand, that right feet generates the power. This is the right feet. So what you do is you take it, like if you was smoking a cigarette and you was Mr. Cool Man Joe, you Mr. Cool Man Joe, and you threw it out on the ground, you're like, Mr. Cool Man Joe, put that cigarette out, man. Why is it still burning? Okay, so what you doing is you squishing, you pushing down, and you turning your right foot at the same time, like that. You push them down, so you sitting down, so you generating power from your feet. All right. Now that you got that part, once that's going, it allows your hips to rotate forward. Okay, and then you straighten out the right hand and you time it all in one motion. Bang. Okay, that's basically how you throw a right hand with power. Some people say, well, speed is power. Speed is power to a point. But you can be so fast where you're not sitting down and you're punching, so you're not hitting them hard because your feet ain't set down to the ground. You got to be set down to generate power, okay? Now, also, too, some people, they know how to rotate their feet, but they'll rotate it up high like that, okay? So when you're not generating all your power if your feet is up there like that because you're standing up. You're not sitting down with your weight. Your weight is loose. Your leg is loose. Your leg should be tight and hard and firm. Not all loose up here, alright? Tight, hard, firm. You got that? Rotate your knuckles as you generate power, you turn it. Okay, also too, with the right hand. If I throw my right hand from right here, it's different than throwing my right hand from right here. Okay? Or people hold their right hand from here. The reason why is this. The more I put my hand back, the further it has to go to generate more power. Okay? So if I throw it here, I can only get it so fast. But if I throw it from back here, I can really throw it harder because it allows me that much more time to generate force to whatever I'm trying to hit. Also, too, power with the right hand. If you bring your jab hand back as you rotate your shoulders, we're talking power, and your feet, you generate more power because it forms a whip. See that whip? Okay, if you look from the side, it's a whip. So if I bring this hand back right here, it's not going to whip as much. See that? So the higher I bring this hand back too, the more power I can get. Try to get that. That's some scientific stuff. Alright, but this big deep boxing page, alright, so I'm going to break down power. That was power with the right hand. Well, what about the hook? Well, what about the hook? Concept the same. Same theory, different punch, different way of generating power. I'm going to go over it. The feet part's the same. You're going to rotate your feet out this way instead of that way. That way's the right hand, this way's the left hand. Okay, so there you go, there you go. So as I throw this punch, this feet, my left feet, is going to turn, which allows my hips to rotate, and I make contact with whoever's on that side. So my feet from sitting down in a squat position, turning it. So if I turn it with a loose leg, that's not a lot of power, right? It has to be firm and tight leg, all right? You get that? Now, when you're rotating your fist around to make contact, if you hit with any side of this hand on the contact, you are just slapping them very, very hard, okay? That's not power, okay? Power is hitting them with the knuckles, which is way back here, okay? So if you generate power correctly down here, but you hitting them with any type of this part of your hand, it's not gonna hurt as much as you bring, look, see how that hit you? Look how that'll hit you. All right, you understand that? So by holding your wrist forward instead of back allows you to have more power. Getting hit like this versus getting hit like that. Everybody get that? We're talking power, okay? So when you generate your power, you want to keep your wrist at an angle where it's not delayed. You see that? A lot of people throw hooks like it's not power, like that's power. Everybody get that? Also too, the elbow. The elbow? What that got to do with it? Watch old time change. They're going to watch. What he talking about now? Look, it's a lot of ways to throw hooks. Canadians, you know, Cubans, they could throw it different ways. Pretty much same foot theory, but how they throw it is different. Some people could twist it, you know what I mean? By, okay, and generate power like boom up close, all right, turning feet, twisting, okay? But let's talk about the elbow. When you throw a power and you hit somebody with the hook, because some people say, just throw a hook, just throw it. All right, but if the elbow's down, when you make contact down here, it's going to give. It's automatic going to, no matter what it hit, it's going to give because of the elbow support. Look, 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 look. Hit, it's going to give, it's going to give. Okay? But the higher the elbow, the less it's going to give. Look, the less it's going to give. So if you come up, that's like an anchor to a wall. So if you turn your feet the correct way, like I was discussing earlier, that's going to be a much harder hit. Watch this with the delayed wrist. Look, you can see yourself which one is going to be harder, even with the elbow, hitting with the hook. So you see as you come across with this elbow, the hook and the feet all together in the knuckle, the hook is going to be much harder. And we're talking power, okay? So you can also sneak them in there. So that's how you throw power hooks. Don't hit with this part of the hand at all. Turn that all the way around. Finish the elbow high, turn that good feet, get a nice solid foundation, and you're able to throw a hook with some power. Oh, boy, Big D know that stuff. All right, so let's break out one more punch. Let's talk about power on the jab. The jab? Man, you can't hit nobody hard using a jab. Well, if I was in my stance, and this camera's about a good 6-8 feet away, I could push off my back feet and throw my hand like that and hit you with a jab right there. Boom, from that far away. So the jab is also thrown with what? Your feet. What? All punches are thrown with your feet. You understand that? The jab works the same way. So while you're in your stance, you push off your back feet, you extend your hand, boom, it makes contact. So what you're trying to do is transfer the weight of your body from your feet all the way to your hands to their feet. You're trying to transfer weight, all right? You're transferring weight, all right? And you're trying to hit them with the weight of your body into your hands. So it hurt. We're talking about power, not a flash jab, power. Taking your weight, distributing it through your body into your hand. Boom, all together. Boom, all right? I'm not going to break down the jab too much because there's secrets to it that you're going to have to pay me for. But I'll give you these tips right here. But there's more to all my punches. Y'all think I'm telling y'all secrets? I'm telling you half of the story. I'll break it down some more for real in real life, all right? So I'll give you that. I'm going to give you that. But there's more to it. You're going to have to pay for that, though. But let's go with that jab, all right? So now you stepping into your jab with that back feet exploding for power. So some people throw a jab like this. It just go like this. They be like this. Okay, some people throw. Okay, some people. Some people. All right, great. No power. Why? Why? You're pushing off the back feet, yes, but you're not rotating your hand. Look, bang. What that look like from the side? Look, bang. So whatever you're hitting on contact, you want to turn that right on them. Listen, let me show you. Here's an example. Hear that? That's straight on. That's this. Now watch the difference. I'm turning it on contact. So when I hit, boom, I'm turning, boom, boom, boom. I'm turning these. Not that. No. But I'm trying to knock your block. Boom! I'm trying to knock your block, so I'm gonna turn it. Same with the jab. So you push off your back feet and your turn, and you have developed power. Now the question: can anybody have power? The answer is yes, if you know how to transfer your weight. It's nothing but transferring your weight. If you weigh 180 pounds and you throw the punch the correct way at 180 pounds, and you're going to have a certain amount of force to it. Now, some people are born genetically hit way harder than others. Some people also maybe hit way slower or punch slower or punch lighter, but you still could punch with the weight of your body to generate power, all right? Now, talking about knocking somebody out, okay, well, a knockout is nothing but timing, you know what I mean? You can hit a guy hard, but if he sees it coming, his body and his mind gonna brace for the punch. Well, you knock a guy out when he don't see the punch. His mind going, what the heck was that? I don't know, shut down. Bomb, 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 bomb. He sleep, all right? So when we talk about knockout is mostly timing, hitting a guy when, you know, he didn't know it was coming, all right? Different subject. We'll talk about knockouts another day, all right? Different subject. All right, today is power. Did y'all get power? Is amateur boxing. Whoa, amateur boxing? Amateur boxing? Well, there's no Floyd Mayweather without amateur boxing, all right? Huh? What? Who your favorite fighter? What? They went through the amateurs. Very few fighters went straight pros, all right? It starts somewhere. You gotta practice your craft. So let's discuss a little bit about amateur boxing. All right? The first thing I want to discuss about amateur boxing is, you know, basically how you get started. What's it all about? Amateur boxing gets started a number of different ways. Kids get bullied, parents take them, daddy take them. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You get involved. They got referees. They got sanctioned bouts. It's all over America. You start fighting for belts and gloves, and you start fighting, and you develop a skill. You start going overseas fighting. You start fighting people from other countries, and you know. But the one thing about amateur boxing is they really don't get the respect that they really deserve. How do I know? Well, I done trained a lot of amateur boxers. It's almost like the silent thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, fighter just all of a sudden he Mikey Garcia. You know, he just came out the blue. No, he started with amateur boxing. All right? So, and I say that because a lot of amateur boxers you're never going to even hear of. They're only going to box 1 year, 4 years, start 3 years, on 2 years, go for more, start off real good, then don't like it, get involved with something else. Some of them go on to be champions. It's a hard road fighting every day. You know, that's a lot of punches to the head. That's a lot of wear and tear on your bodies. So you can start off great, and all of a sudden, you get you're great at 10, and you're dead at 22. You know what I mean? Or you're not nothing at 16, and you're great at 24. You know what I mean? But it's a road. It's a road through amateur boxing. You got amateur boxers that's Just 8, I think it starts. You got them, I think, in the 34. So you got them all ages. Everybody dreaming. Everybody want to be the best. Everybody want to go to Olympics. Everybody want to make money. Everybody want to be Floyd Mayweather. All right, but the thought process, the coaches, the trainers, you know, they start off amateur boxing. I mean, even your pro trainers you see today have amateur fighters. Pretty much all of them. They don't just have, unless, you know, you got a few, but most of them have amateur boxers. You know, they got their main people and they make money off their amateur fighters. That's how they get paid, because now they got this big name because I train so-and-so, so I get to charge you. You know, you could pay $25 a week or you could pay $1,500 a month, depending on the name. You know what I mean? When the trainer sells himself, you know what I mean? I train, you know, Carlos Boo Boo, and, you know, I train, you know, Jackaroo, you know, and Jackaroo's the greatest thing in this town or city, or, you know what I mean, or that's his son, then he charge a little more versus the guy nobody hear of that's sweating hard to get $1, you know what I'm saying? But that's all done through amateur boxing. All right, so now I discussed amateur boxing. You got a little taste amateur boxing because, you know, you get a lot of bad decisions in amateur boxing, you know what I mean, because there's only 3 rounds, you know what I mean, and it's a point system, you know what I mean, so most of the judges in amateur boxing, they know who's who, or got their little favorites, or, you know what I mean, how they got their sons involved or daughters involved, and, you know what I mean, that's part of amateur boxing. You see a lot of decisions, hometown, this town, this versus that. Since they nice, they come to our country. They give the country the decision because we've been winning all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's all done through amateur boxing. So you learn how to take losing. You learn how to lose and keep your head up and keep it rolling. It's not like pros where one loss you out. Amateurs, you can lose. You know what I mean? You don't like to, but until you develop that name to get all the close decisions, you know what I mean? You know you're gonna lose sometime. I don't care who you are. You can't be 100% every day. Nobody is Superman. You might beat him 98 out of 100, but you don't know when them 2 gonna kick in. So nobody's invincible. It's boxing. You know what I mean? Anything can happen in the ring. All right. So that's amateur boxing. You learn through amateur boxing. Father, son, boxing. And how does that work when the father becomes a trainer and, you know, stuff like that? I'm going to try to break that down in a number of different ways. Hopefully I can do it in a quick period of time. All right, how does the fighter first get to the gym? Okay, well, either the father used to be a fighter and he takes him to the gym that way, or the father actually physically takes him to the gym, or he gets bullied in school and he ends up into a gym that way. Well, whatever in case how he got to the gym, usually the dad's kind of, you know, taking him there. Some dads were fighters. They're gonna try to train them the way they were trained, or how the trainers trained them. You have some dads that really didn't know anything about boxing, but their son started boxing, and all of a sudden they watch people as the son go to practice, and they also become a trainer, and they become a great trainer in their own right because their son was great. All right. But anyway, how that materialize in the sport, you're talking about a fighter, average age starting could be 8 years old, maybe to, you know, 10, 12, all the way to a fighter's career if he stays a distance, 30, 35, 40 years old. So that's a lot of time that's going by. So it's just like, you know, when the kid is young, the kid gonna pretty much do whatever you say. When kids start being a teenager, they start developing their own mind, and a lot of things start happening. Okay, no difference than a fighter and a father and a son as they start training. So how does that work? Well, as they materialize and they start coming to the gym and they start training for important stuff like tournaments, big champions, that father and son becomes very, very close. It becomes a bond. You and that trainer becomes one. Y'all think alike, y'all kind of act alike, you have the same goals, you have the same vision. So it becomes a very tight, you know, chemistry between the two people. Okay, and when you win, and it's all great, you know, but over time, the the sons pretty much feel like he's learned everything from the father, or or he wants to venture out, or the father has other stuff to do and he wants to go his way. So over time, that kind of can go a lot of different ways. Fathers and sons have their own code in which they talk that nobody understands, but they do. You know, that becomes a thing. But what happens when in the gym, when things don't quite go right? Does that happen? Does that happen in gym? Does that happen in public? Do people get to see it? People get to experience it? Well, I'm going to tell it to you like this from my own experience. I got 2 sons that box. Okay? Was there ever a time where we had difficulties in the gym? The answer would be definitely yes. Because my son, why you hitting him like that? You just sparring. You ain't got to hit him like that. You know what I mean? He yelled at me and we get into it, right? We both in the ring, you know what I mean? We going at each other, you know what I mean? And then people jump in and try to separate us. But then, you know, don't touch my father, don't touch my son. And now me and my son, we fighting everybody else in the ring. So this is a true story, y'all. Okay? So we talking about father and son. It's a true story, y'all. So a lot goes on to training a son and having him around his son as he becomes a fighter, because a lot of times the daddy becomes the manager of his son if he's not a trainer, okay? And he gets, you know, he's still taking him to practice, you know, even though maybe he's dropping off to another, he's still there, especially if he's successful. So you do see in that relationship a lot of emotions that go on. Kind of hard to get away from. I'm sure you've seen some video of other fighters, or maybe on YouTube or whatever. You've seen situations, and people just, from a fan, they don't really understand that. That's your dad, you should, you know what I mean? But from a fighter, from a boxer, you know, we talking about from inside. I'm past the fan stuff. That's what most of y'all think about. So as inside, how does this work? It's a little different from a fan's perspective, because remember, we are all fighters, boxers, okay? But boxers, when you get down to it, are fighting. Seriously. You know, yeah, it's all cute. You move around. It's a fight. So everybody that's involved, the trainer, the dad trainer, he sees fighting all the time too. Everybody sees fighting all the time. So when there's a conflict that goes on, the way boxers know how to handle it, the way the mind is geared, you usually see a different response than you would see maybe it was a family outside the gym and don't know nothing about boxing. So we're in the sport of boxing. So when you see confusion, conflict, people get mad, they're going to handle things from a boxer's point of view. So our way of getting mad and punishing is, you know, do push-ups. You know what I mean? It ain't, no turn off the Xbox. It ain't that. You know what I mean? It's physical. So I just wanted to kind of break that down. It can go in a lot of variation, different ways. Okay. As a successful son, automatically the trainer becomes a great trainer. You know what I mean? Really haven't trained too many people, but his son is a good trainer, so he's going to be all of a sudden recognized as a great trainer. That's just the sport. That's just how it goes. Okay? So, the next champion that's coming up, same thing. You know, his dad going to bring him up. You know what I mean? And he's going to be recognized as a great trainer too. You know what I mean? Because his son is great, right? So, it's just the sport. So people out there that wants to bring their son to the gym, hey, you might be the next one. That relationship is special. There's no getting around it in the sport. It's a lot of beauty of it. It's a lot of, tough love, so to speak. And I just want the fans out there that don't know much about boxing just get a little insight to what's going on. All right? All right. Let's go on to another subject. Let's talk about the line. Slips, rolls. I kind of heard of that. That's what we're going to talk about. The line. What the heck is a line? Stay off the line. Get off the line. What are they talking about? All right, let me break that down. You see y'all looking at me in that camera? Let's say you don't like what I'm saying with the training stuff and that stuff ain't true, so you sock me. Bam! Oh! Okay, so I'm just gonna, bam, sock whatever's back right there. That's the line, right? You get that? You don't have to be good to hit somebody if their head is on the line, all right? The line is between you and a fighter when y'all face to face, nose to nose, looking at each other. That's called the line right there, okay? So what a lot of people do is they kind of stay off of the line. So you heard the statement, move your head, move your head. Well, actually what they're doing is moving their head off the line. So what they're doing is they're slipping. Slip, these are slips. Slips is when punches are coming at you from basically direct on, and you just slip and allow the punches to go over your head. These are called slips, okay? You also got what they call rolls. Rolls is when punches are pretty much being thrown on the outside and you just roll away from the punch. So you got slips and you got rolls. Rolls usually do when you kind of, everybody has their own theory of how to defend in their mind. I like to keep track of their hands. If I know where their hands are, I pretty much could get away from their punches. So when there's a punch missing and I lose track of the hands, pretty much either I'm going to duck or I'm going to roll until I pick up the other hand. Once I pick up the other hand, then I'm kind of going to react to what I see and counter from there. Okay, so those are rolling from shots. Usually shots is coming from this way. You just get up under it, okay? A lot of times you have to get away from the shot and roll back to keep your balance. So you do it real fast. You learn how to do it real fast, all right? So you got the line, you got slips, and you got rolls. So these are primarily defensive maneuvers or countering type maneuvers. Let's say you throw a punch, I just slip and I come right back. The slip come right back. Or you throw one, I roll right into my punch. I roll right into my punch. So, and basically if you throw a punch, you don't want to bring your head back in line. So if I throw a punch here and I come back to my stance, you hit me 1, 2. So if I throw a hook here and I come back to my stance, you're going to hit me 2. The key to it is to throw a punch and roll back into position. Roll right up under the line back in position. Or hit them with a hook and roll up under the line back into position. So you don't cross the line getting hit right back. Cross the line. See how you cross the line instead of roll up under the line, all right? So even when you're throwing a bunch of combinations, let's say you letting your hands go, the last punch, boom, you open. You see that? I'm open. I'm protected on this side, but I'm open. So after the last punch combination, you roll back in position. So if you throw a bunch of punches and you finish with the right hand, all right? So I'm open because I can't protect my face and hit you at the same time. So I'm open. So I just automatically roll back into position. And these are defensive moves that everybody should be doing after they punch. Okay? There's also a thing called punching off the line. Let's say if I hit you right hand, boom, okay, you hit me the right hand too, kaboom, because my head's right there. But I could slip and throw a right hand at the same time and move my head, okay? Same with the hook. We're going to hit each other. But if I do it like this and slip as I throw the hook, my head is off the line, not to be countered. I can go in more details with that, but you have to pay me for that. That's training stuff, right? I'm just breaking down some basics. Okay, so you understand? So slips and roll are very, very important. You can roll into shots, slip into shots, slip and roll at the same time in shots. A lot of things you can do. But the main thing is don't hit nobody unless you know you're not going to get hit back. All right, so that means defense. That means you're going to stay off the line, use rolls and slips to maneuver into countering or a defensive position. All right, done. KOs. What a topic that is. How does somebody get knocked out? Where do you hit them when you get knocked out? How hard do you have to throw the punch to knock somebody out? Basic common questions. So let's break down the knockout, alright? The knockout. There are certain sensitive spots on a human being that you do want to hit to cause an effect of pain on their body to actually knock them out. Let's start with the head punches first. Well, you have the tempo right here. You get hit with a good shot, can knock you out. Of course, you got your chin, especially from the side where it causes a whipping effect. It shuts down the brain, knocks you out. Equilibrium, getting hit right here, behind the ear, right there. Okay, a lot of people behind the head, you get right here, knocks, make you dizzy, make your legs do funny things. So those are the three areas upside the head that you want to hit. The liver on the right side. Okay, this freezes them, locks them up. You see a lot of people go down with body shots. That's to the liver. Okay, you got kidneys. It's kind of back here on both sides. So these are target places you really want to strike an opponent. The chest, let's not forget this. The chest is very, very painful, okay? So the throat, let's break that down. If you can hit somebody in the throat, that hurt. It's boxing. You're hitting them anywhere, all right? You hit somebody in the throat. Let's break down body shots real quick. Body shots, these are hitting them right here, hitting them right there. These are all body shots, all right? So hit them on their shoulder. All right, so let's break down body shots real quick. But anyway, back to the knockout. Anytime you hit a person, especially when they're tired, they're vulnerable for open shots. Most knockouts, really a body punch to set it up. A good hard body shot, they tuck in and it sets up a clean shot to some of the areas that we spoke about. When somebody gets hit with a good punch that knocks them out, basically they didn't see the punch. Your body has a way of bracing for impact. Your mind has a way of seeing things and bracing. So you can get hit with a good shot, it can rattle you, but because you've seen it, your mind told you, oh, something's coming, and boom, oh, okay, and you're able to accept the punch a little better. But when something just hits you out of nowhere, your mind doesn't have a chance to respond to that. It doesn't know what that is. So your mind will shut you down and cause you to be knocked out. So being knocked out is basically a punch that they don't see. All right. How does it feel to be knocked out? Never been knocked out. I don't know. You know what I mean? So I've been knocked dizzy, but buzz, but that's not being knocked out. So I can't tell you how that feels. So we're not going to go into that part. But what do you have to do to knock a person out? How hard do you have to swing? Basically, is you don't try hard. You basically just keep putting your hands on a man, and eventually he'll go. Eventually the knockout will come. Now it's one thing if you already see him wobbling, you go for the kill, because that's killer instincts come in and you go for the KO that way. That's something inside of somebody that'll come out. That's something you can't teach, how to kill something. Some people have a killer instinct, and when it's out, they know how to destroy. But up until that time, you just box a person and hopefully we hit him with that shot with the right time or the punch he didn't see, and he get a little wobbly and you going for the kill. So that's the KO. Emotions. There's a lot of emotions. Let's break that down. What are you talking about now, Big D? Emotions? What do you mean? You love me? Nah. In boxing, there's a lot of emotions. Let me go through a couple of them. Scared, nervous, fear, anger, mad. It's just a lot of emotions. And you're doing a lot of fighting, or you're fighting for the first time, or you're sparring for the first time, or you're sparring somebody really, really good, or you find somebody just knock somebody out, now you in there next. There's a lot of emotions that go on inside one's body, inside one's mind when he is preparing himself to box. It's one thing being on the floor hitting the bags, hitting the speed bag, heavy bag. They're not punching back. But it's another thing when you get in that ring, you got your headgear, you got your gloves on, and you waiting on the bell, and you looking at him, and he looking at you, and you know what does the fighter feel like going through that? I would say everybody's different. You have some people that say, "Oh, I'm not scared, I don't feel nothing," but you see them and they doing this. All right, so I'm just saying. I'm gonna break it down. Kind of how, it's about really being relaxed, and you can't allow emotions to dictate what you have to do. Yeah, sometimes you can feel fear, you can feel nervous. I don't know about scared, but you can feel a type of, you can feel some type of way, but you really don't, once you kind of get in there, you know what you have to do. My way of doing it is just try to stay calm and treat it more like a game, more like a, even though I know he can hit me hard and he can hurt me, especially at my age, I use a lot of footwork and defense, so I treat it more like a game, so I'm relaxed. When they throwing hard punches at me, I kind of, to myself, I'm more laughing at it, like if he hit me, that would hurt, you know what I mean? A good thing I got away from that, and so my mind's going through a lot of things going to what I'm seeing, but basically, among all the emotions, I'm relaxed. I've been in there where, start off one thing and dang, this dude like seriously trying to take my head off, like for real, like dang, I'm like, man, you want to tell him like, hey man, cool, but you can't, forgive me, I'm just reminiscing, and you just gotta really let him have it at that point. So I mean, it's boxing, but you're gonna have emotions. What do I say about a young kid that's coming up and he's nervous or he's scared, or the parents want him to fight, but the kid don't want to fight. He's nervous, he's scared. What would I say about that? Well, just take him to the gym and don't have him, really fight. Just take him there. Just you hit the bag as a parent, you know what I mean? And just you know what I mean? Eventually, you know what I mean? You're going to see another kid his age and, you know what I mean? He'll grow accustomed to it. A lot of people, at first scared to get into the ring. I know people been around it for 8 years and still scared, still won't get in there. So, but been around it, love it, want to be it, want to do it, and scared. So, what do? You just... just have them feel comfortable. Once you get in there for that first time and you taste that, you taste that love, you taste that fight, you taste that what it is, why boxers box. Boxing is a sport all on its own, and when you go through it, you go through the motions, you come out of it, and you come out, man, that was cool. Well, you got a fighter now. That's really how they, develop. You go through the emotions, you overcome the emotions, you come out good, you come out clean, I ain't hurt, and, next thing you know, he's a fighter. But, you go through that same phase and you get knocked out first time, then you probably don't see that person no more. And it happens. So let's call it what it is. And not a lot, so I don't want to scare y'all, but, you get people get beat up for the first time and get mad, don't come back, or you see people get beat up for the first time and come back, I'm going to get you back. So you go both ways. So you find out who you are when you become a fighter. But you have to deal with emotions. Some people, when they have to fight, they gotta, pee a lot. Or the parents watching the fight and watching their kid fight, the emotions that set off through their body, it makes them want to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes. Or the fighter, he can lose, track of really where he's at. He can say where the bathroom at, and it's right next to him. You know what I mean? So you see some fighters, they get cold or shaky, or you try to keep them comfortable and warm. You see all kind of stuff. What makes a champion? That's a good topic. All right, let's break that down. What makes a champion? How does a fighter become a champion? Among all the fighters that's out there, how does one rise to the top? Well, let me break that down. Big D knows, because I've been around quite a few champions. All right, quite a few champions. All right, so let's break that down. Well, in order to be a champion, you must first see another champion train. You got to know what they go through. You got to know the sacrifice that they willing to go through to be champion. That's first. Second, it takes a lot of really hard work. It takes a serious team effort. You're going to have the right trainer to guide you there, to show you the ropes. At a certain point, you have to be business savvy or be around business people. Let's go to the training part of it. They train harder. They're more focused. Their boxing IQ is higher, and I'll break that down too at another video. When other people get tired, they're not tired. They have a mental blockage that they can, forget what's going on. They can not forget, but they in a moment of what's going on, but their mind is somewhere else. So they could be in the park kicking with their girl. They could be, lounging, but at the same time, they hitting the bag hard. They able to block out pain. They're able to run longer because they're driven. They're also born. You're born that way. You're born with the ability to take punishment that other people can't take. You're born with the mind power to overcome situations, to adapt to situations, and overwhelm another man mentally. Because in the ring, that's what you're doing. It's mind on mind. It's 85% mental, so that their mental capacity is superior. Their awareness of what's going on is off the charts. They could be in a boxing ring with 100 people around. They can see who's coming in the door and out the door and still know what's going on inside the ring. Their senses are more. Their heightened awareness is higher than the average person. So it allows them to perform at another level that's higher than the person that's that they're competing against. So they have a lot of tangibles, intangibles that you can't teach. So a champion is made up of many different things rolled up into one person, into one circumstance, into one team. And as that person develops as a fighter, his smartness in the ring increases, and he becomes more dominant as the time goes on. So a champion is somebody who's, basically he's born that way. He's born to fight. Okay, he could do more, take more, go harder than the average person, and his willingness to accept learning. When somebody boxing IQ, what is that? I know that's what y'all said. You done did all these things, but you ain't never said nothing about no boxing IQ. My trainer ain't never said nothing about no boxing IQ. All the sports fans going, boxing IQ. All right, listen. The greats have a better IQ of boxing than the average. Why? Because they understand boxing from concepts. What you mean concepts? All right, listen. Depending on your trainer, you get taught many ways. Right? So let's go. You got A trainer, B trainer. A trainer teaches him how to jab. Jab 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and boxing. Okay, so he knows how to box. But B trainer teaches him what's behind the jab, how to turn it over, how to push the feet into it, how to turn on the hook. He breaks down the hook. So he's not just saying doing it. He's breaking down the philosophy behind all the punches, behind all the footwork, behind the distance, behind the right hand. So he done broke boxing down where this guy, A, he just was just doing it. So in the ring, A is just in the ring just fighting, and B, he's in the ring fighting off of a philosophy, a strategy, a concept. So he has a higher boxing IQ. So some trainers and some fighters can take those IQs to a high level. Floyd Mayweather, for example, he has a great boxing IQ. Forget everything else. He got great defense. He got this. He has a great boxing IQ. All right, you get that? Now, he's different than most because his fundamentals are basically different than regular fighters. Maybe I should break that down too. That's kind of deep. Floyd has his own style. Everybody else trying to copy Floyd. But Floyd's defense and all that is taught through his parents and his uncle. So he has a technique, a fundamental behind his style. Everybody else just doing it. That's why they getting retired. They want to be boxers. They great, but boom, they didn't got knocked out trying to be Floyd instead of being themselves. That's another subject. But it goes down to boxing IQ. Okay? So, for trainers out there and fighters out there, don't just do the punch. Go through the punch systematically one at a time and figure out the fundamentals to each punch, to each footwork. Well, how can you do that if my trainer don't do it? Keep watching my video over and over and over.